Hello. So in this video, we'll be seeing about the jobs practicals. So for job operation, go to the cluster management and click on the job operation. So here you can see the different tabs available. The first tab is a job summary. So whatever the current job that are running currently will show here, and the status of the job ID and type, what is a priority impact, and what is the phase it's running, and what is the progress, and what actions can be taken on the job. So these things will be visible here. Getting to the job types. So here are the job types that are available in Isilon. So as I told, each of the activity that is run by one of us will have a job in the background. We'll see one by one. Before that, so I'll let you know what is the priority, impact, and schedule here. So first is the priority. Each job will have a priority, and these priority will let the know how much priority that particular job is. So the lower number is a higher priority. So the priority higher will have number 1, and the lower priority will have number 10. So it's like 1 to 10, 1 having the higher priority. Each job will have its own priority according to that particular job's feature and that particular job's criticality. And apart from that, each job will have an impact. So this impact has three types: the low, high, and the medium. So these are nothing but the impact is nothing but the uh, amount of resource that has been given to the um, job from cluster. So the amount of workers that has been assigned to that particular job. So low in the sense, so there will be less number of workers assigned to the job, and how much and according to that particular job's criticality. So and then schedule, we have manual and automatic, and actions. So while starting the job, it will ask you for some details before starting the job. And in this view or edit, you can edit the priority and the impact policy. And it's always recommended not to change this default priority and the impact policy set by EMC. You will have option to change that, but it's always not recommended to change, because changing this priority or the impact policy will have huge impact on the cluster's performance, as the impact policy is something deals with the number of workers or the resource allocated to that particular policy by the cluster. So when you go for the high impact policy, there will be huge number of resources, workers assigned to that particular job, so that can affect the performance of the cluster. So let's see the jobs one by one. First job is order balance. Order balance is a job that is used to balance the clusters data. So let's say you have a 3 node cluster with 40 TB of capacity shared across the 3 nodes, and you have a new node coming in, adding it to the as 4th node. Now this order balance job will trigger and will try to balance the 40 TB data for all the 4 nodes, so that each node will get the even amount of space. So in this case, each node will get 10 TB. So this is the work of this order balance job. Order balance job is run by one of us itself when there is a new drive addition or new node addition. So this distributes the file across the node pools and tiers. And order balance LIN. So LIN is nothing but the logical inode number. So this logical inode number denotes that whenever there is a let's say if there is SSD drives, then this particular if a node has SSD drives, then this particular auto balance LIN will start. So auto balance normal is for the normal HDD, and auto balance LIN is for the logical inode number which has the SSD drives in it. And next comes the change list create. So this change list create is a job that is used to compare two different snapshots with a matching route path. So let's say you have two different snapshots versions. So let's say you have a snapshot taken on the morning 9 a.m. and you have a snapshot taken on the next day morning 9 a.m. and you want to compare those two snapshots and find out what are the dif differences on those snapshot. Then you can use this change list create job, and this particular job has priority of 5 and impact is low. So when you try to start this job, it will ask you for the snapshot IDs, the older one and the newer one. So you can enter the snapshot ID and start comparing the both these snapshots. And next comes the collect job. Collect job is used to reclaim the free space or orphaned or leaked inodes. So in the sense when a huge amount of capacity has been deleted or data has been deleted, and there may be some unused or orphaned blocks available. So to reclaim the space of that particular block, you will be running this collect job. This collect job is used to reclaim the free space from the previously unavailable nodes or drives. So let's say you have a drive that is failed, and so that this particular collect job will run to reclaim the space, free space available. For example, you have a huge amount of data that is being deleted, and post deleted you will have some unused or orphaned inodes or blocks that are left behind. So to reclaim those things, you will run this collect job, so that once this collect job has completed, you will get some more uh, new space. And the priority for this job is 4 and the impact is low. So when you want to start this job, click start job, and directly you can start this job without any inputs. Then coming down, dedupe. So we have dedupe job. We saw this on the deduplication session. So the same thing, the dedupe will start as a full run. So this will find the redundant data blocks and deduplicate all the redundant data blocks into one particular directory. And also this particular job requires a smart dedupe license. So all the feature supported jobs require a license, because to run that particular job you need that particular software's license. So for this dedupe you will need a dedupe license, as this is a full run job, and this has a priority of 4 and impact level as low. So for this job you can start the job directly here, and for this path you need to give it on the deduplication tab. Coming down we have the dedupe assessment. So this assessment is nothing but a dry run, the same dedupe job, but this will have only the assessment. So this job will run and will let you know how much capacity can be saved when you run this job as a full run. So this is like a assessment and dry run to estimate the amount of space that could be saved by really deduplicating the directory. And this dedupe assessment does not need a license, as this is just a dry run, and this priority has 6 and the impact level as low. The same way you can start the job without any input, and the path has to be given on the deduplication tab. Coming down you have domain mark. So this domain mark is nothing but it is used to associate a path and it's connected with a particular domain, and this has a priority of 5 and impact as low. So you can start this job, so you can give the input which domain path you need and what type of domain. So if you want to go for a revert, snap revert, or if you want to go for a sync IQ. So I can give this particular path and what type of domain I need, whether I need a snap revert or whether I need a sync IQ. And next comes the FS analyst. So this FS analyst job is nothing but the file system analyst. This particular job is used to gather the information all about the file system of Isilon cluster, and this job is used to send the gathered information to the Inside IQ software. So Inside IQ is one of the software, the monitoring performance tool, which will be installed in a separate VM, and that particular software or tool is used to uh, like check the performance and the monitoring of the cluster using this information given by the FS analyst job. So that is basically a tool which can check all the errors or external throughput errors or kind of capacity forecast. So all these things you can do in that particular tool. So for that, this job will collect all the information from one of us and send to that particular tool. And you have the priority as 6 and the impact policy as low. So you can directly start this job without any input. Next comes the Flex Protect. So this Flex Protect job is used to scan the file system after device failure. So whenever there is a drive failure happening, this Flex Protect job will kick in and will try to move all the data in that particular drive to the other drives which are available. So that this particular will make sure that the drive is empty before it's getting failed, so that the data protection gets acquired here. The Flex Protect job is purely used when there is a drive fail happening. So when there is a data drive failure happening, you can notice as the drive status moving to smart fail. So the smart fail is nothing but in background this Flex Protect job is running and the drive is smartly getting failed. It is moving all the data from that particular drive to the other drives before that particular drive goes to a fail state. And you have the priority as 1. So the priority 1 is given to any kind of job that deals with the data integrity and data protection. As Flex Protect is something that deals with the data protection, it has given a priority of 1 and the impact policy as medium. And Flex Protect LIN is the same, the logical inode number, so that is used to run for the SSD drives. Coming down, we have the integrity scan. So this is a software, this is a job that is used to run and check the system integrity. So it's just like verifying the system integrity, like the phase of collect identifies everything that is valid in the file system, so nothing is changed, or this particular job inspects the process itself to catch invalid file system elements. So if there are any kind of invalid file system elements or any kind of issues going on the system, this integrity scan will verify all those things and will come out with a report saying that these file systems are not good or this has to be changed. And this particular job is given a priority of 1 and the impact policy of medium. As I told, so anything that is dealing with the system integrity and the data protection, so those jobs will be given a priority of the most high, and this has 1, and this impact has a medium. So here also you can run this job without any inputs. Coming down, you have the media scan job. The media scan job is used to identify any media level errors. So that's nothing but the error correction code. So the drives are running 24/7 and these drives may get jammed at any point of time. So if at all there is any media level error, you can run this job and find out where this particular error is there and how to rectify that. So this particular job has a priority of 8 and has an impact as low, as this particular job is not does not have much criticality. It is given a priority of 8. So this is scheduled. You can see all the jobs are manual, and this is like a scheduled one. This runs every Saturday of every month at 12 a.m. So on, the first Saturday. So first Saturday of every month at 12 a.m. So this runs only once per month. And next comes the multi-scan. So this multi-scan job is used to run two jobs collectively. The one is auto balance and the collect job. So this both job get mingled and runs as a single job in the multi-scan. This multi-scan job will perform activity of both auto balance and collect. So auto balance, that will balance the nodes, and collect will reclaim the orphan space or blocks that are available. And this has a priority of 4, and the impact policy is low. Coming down, we have the permission repair. This permission repair job is used to repair any kind of permission or copy any kind of permission from one directory to other directory. You can use this permission repair job. So let's say you have a folder with some set of permissions, and the user comes to you and asks you to exactly clone the same permission from that particular directory to here. So instead of executing the command and copying the same permission from there, you can run this job in terms to get that acquired. So here, start the job. It will ask you for the path. So from which path to which path you want to copy. Let's say I want the SMB CLI permissions to be clone copy permission from chosen path to all the files and the directories. So where you want to copy this permission. I want to copy that SMB-CLI permission to test share. So just start the job. Okay, so it says remove path. So here you can see the job is getting started, and here you can see the phases, the job ID, and what type of job is this, and priority, the impact policy, and what is the progress. So it's just started, and here you can view the same thing here, and the actions are so I think this job is completed. Okay, so the actions will be like you can pause the job or you can stop the job, you can do anything in between. So now let's check the directory permissions. So here, so everyone is root with the read control, and so it's the same here. So this is how you copy the permission from one directory to the other directory. So let's see the other jobs. And in this job we have other options as well. So inherit the permission or convert and apply a fixed set of permission. So if you want to give a set of permissions and you want to assign those permission to the file or directory, you can do that as well. So you can map one particular permission and you can do that. And this has priority of 5 and impact policy is low. Now comes the quota scan. Quota scan is a job that is used to run to make sure that all the quotas are updated. Let's say you have a new quota that is put up on a file or directory, and if that particular quota has not captured the exact data, then you can run this job. Then this quota scan will ensure that all the quotas are up to date. That will fetch the exact number of exact capacity used by each directory, and this has priority of 6 and impact policy as low. So you can directly run the quota scan job without any inputs. Coming down is the set protection plus. So this is a unlicensed version of smart pool. So this job is kind of a unlicensed version of smart pool. When you don't have a smart pool license, then you can use this particular set protection plus software, job to achieve the default file policy across the cluster. So there will be a default file policy. That particular policy will be applied across the cluster when you run this job. And this has a priority of 6 and the impact policy as low. Coming down, you have the shadow store. Shadow store is an job that is used to shadow store delete. Sorry, shadow store delete is a job that is used to delete the free space associated with the shadow store, and also it removes the shadow stores that are no longer referenced and have zero reference count associated with them. If you have any shadow store that does not have any reference count associated to that particular shadow store, then that will be deleted, so to gain the space. So this has a priority of 2. This is something that deals with the data protection and data deletion, so this has given the high priority, and also this has impact as low. And here you can see this is scheduled for every Sunday at 12 AM. Coming down, we have shadow store protect. Shadow store protect is kind of a job that will protect the that will protect the data which is saved on the shadow store with the highest requested protection. So this is kind of saving the shadow store which are referenced by a LIN. So let's say this particular shadow store copy has a reference with one particular file, then that will be saved in a high requested protection. And this has a protection, the impact priority as 6 and impact policy as low. And this job runs every day at 16 hours. So from 4 AM to 8 PM, between this it runs at this particular time. Every 16 hours this will run accordingly. Coming down, we have the smart pools. So smart pools that we saw, the software is used to run the policies that are set. So the file pool policies which are created, those file pool policies will be enforced when you run this job. And this job requires a smart pool license. As we said, this is a one of the software, and this job needs that particular software's license. So this has a priority of low, 6, and impact as low. This job runs at 22 every day. Then comes a smart pool tree. The smart pool tree is yet another job that is used for to enforce the policies on a sub tree level. So let's say you have a different file pool policies that are enforced on a subdirectory level. To run that, you will need this smart pool tree, and this smart pool tree job also requires a smart pool license. This has a priority of 5 and impact as medium. Snap revert, snap delete. So these are two jobs that will deal with these snapshots. Snap revert is to revert the entire snapshot back to the head, back to the same position, the same copy of that particular snapshot's version. And snap delete is for deleting the old snapshot that has expired already. So let's say you have given a snapshot expired of 30 days, and when that particular 30th day has come, then that particular snapshot will be deleted and you will get space. So this has a priority of 2 and the impact policy as medium. So as this is something to deal with the data deletion, this has given the high priority, and snap revert is given a priority of 5 and the impact level as low. And next comes the tree delete. So this tree delete software, the job is used to delete any specified path, or any specified directory inside the IFS path. So if you want to delete a huge amount of data inside the directory, then you can use this tree delete job to delete that particular directory. So to start this job, you need to give the path which has to be removed or deleted. So you should be very careful before running this job, because running this job will delete complete data on that particular directory. So when you run this job, that particular directory gets deleted. So here you can see the job is still running. And when you check the folder, you don't see that the SMB CLI is gone. So this is how you delete the folder or any kind of directories. The last one is the warm queue. So this job is something to do with the smart lock. So as we saw, smart lock is a software that is used for retention of any data at one particular time. So this particular job scans the smart lock directories for uncommitted files. For any uncommitted files, this will scan, and this will commit the appropriate files to the warm state. So if this job finds out any files that are uncommitted for the retention, then this particular job will make that particular file committed. So when you want to go for a commit for a set of files, then you can run this job, or OneFS automatically runs this job when that particular auto commit period has reached. And here you can run this job directly without any inputs. This has a priority of 6 and the impact as low. And that's it on the jobs. So these are all the jobs. And next tab is the job reports. In the job reports, you can see all the reports of the job that has recently completed. So we ran the tree delete job and permission repair job. You can see. So here you can see the events that what has done and what are the number of folders or files that it has captured. So it says that there are 3 directories, and so here's the path, and here is the memory that it has taken, and all the virtual memory, CPU usage, so everything you can see here. And then so here you can see with the ID. And next is the job events. So this job events will have events of each job that is running. So here you can see for the tree delete we have these events. So the first phase is like policy change and state change, begin phase, end phase, and again state change. So here you can see the status, waiting, running, delete, and succeeded. So one by one the events will get updated here. So here you can see if any of the job has failed, you can check on which particular state or which particular phase this job has failed. So here you can see the view details. You can check all the details in an elaborate form. And next is the impact policies. So the impact policies are nothing but, as we saw, we have high, low, and medium. The high policies are the one which can run anytime, from anytime Sunday to Sunday, and here we have the low and medium impact policies. And the one thing that we should be knowing about the priority. So this priority are given to any jobs, so that particular job will have the most high priority. Let's say you have 3 jobs running already, with one job with priority 4, another job with priority 5, and the third job with priority 6. Now there is a new job that is coming in with a priority 2. So one of us will pass the job with the least priority. So in our case, the priority 6 job, the third job will be paused, will be queued, and the new job that is waiting will kick in, and once that is completed, then the queued job will be resumed. So for this purpose also, the priority works. So one of us will first try to give priority to the jobs that has high priority. So whenever there are 3 jobs running, and you want to you have a priority 1 job waiting, or not waiting, it's about to start, then it will pass any one of the job and will try to complete the priority 1 job in first. So for that also the priority works. So we have seen everything on the jobs. That's it for this lecture. We'll see on the next lecture.